Hello, everybody, and welcome to Unconventional GMs, the channel where we play pacey, one-shot ttrpgs with pace, vim, and vigor. One too many paces in there, but that's how much we care about pace here. Today, we are playing Shadow of the Weird Wizard, new fantasy, high fantasy game from Rob Schwalb that kickstarted a couple of years ago and has arrived ready-made. It's got a ton of adventures made for it, and it is proper D&D high fantasy with some really interesting tweaks to the system that hopefully in the next 2 hours we'll be able to showcase. I'm Guy from this and the Burn After Running blog, and I'll be GMing this session. Let's meet our players and the characters that they'll be playing, starting with my co-host Gaz.
Hi everyone, I'm Gaz, and aside from doing this, I'm also one half of What Would the Smart Party Do, the UK's premier RPG podcast. Today, I'm playing Luriel, Chosen of the High One, a smooth-skinned and strangely beauteous individual. I follow the High One, vanquisher of the adversary from paradise, the opener of the gates of heaven, and we should never pass up the opportunity to praise him. Praise the High One. I'm a priest, although it might not have been obvious from my introduction. I'm dressed in lovely, pristine robes, although made of a simple material because I spend all of my time praising the High One, as should all of you.
Amazing, amazing. And let's introduce new to the channel, Clint. Who are you playing?
I am Clint. I am the host and founder of the Claim to Game podcast. I am playing Jalaxy, a promising apprentice. I am wearing some jasmine-scented robes that exude from these fine robes. The jasmine is overwhelming. I am a wizard. I am a human, and my profession is a dancer. And so I will show you all the evolution of dance. With that, I pass.
Amazing, amazing. And let's meet Iain. Who are you playing?
Hi, I'm Iain McAllister from The Giant Brain. I'm a tabletop games critic and journalist, and I am playing Halifax. No, not the Building Society, but a sort of a kind, soft-faced con man of sorts. I mean, it says thief on my character sheet, but basically, he's the sort of person, he will look after your money, your aunt's money, your grandma's money, anybody's money, really. He doesn't really care too much. Quick with a dagger, quick with a smile, and quick with a kind word when it's necessary, but all in the pursuit of gaining money.
Amazing, amazing. And last but not least, it's Jag.
Hello, folks. I'm Jag. Tonight, I am playing Barn. Barn is an eagle warrior. He looks like your dad, but he's probably younger than you. He's a street kid, really, with everything you might expect from a peasant urchin aesthetic, right down to his bowl haircut, which fits his town guard helmet just about right. Before he strayed this side of the law, he ran the other side of the wagon tracks, rubbing his greasy monkey paws with the dredges of society in the lickety-split gang. Old habits die hard, and his sense of justice is somewhat distorted. Nobody's even sure if he's still a town guard or he's just nicked the gear to flounce around in, feigning authority where needed, and has joined in with another loser gang of miscreants. Either way, he's keen, just like his sword and his arrows. Barn.
Amazing, amazing. So the loser gang of miscreants, I mean, you said it, are at present. Our camera pans down and we see you on a tiny ship, the Painted Lady, as it heaps and rolls through driving, stormy rains. You had agreed as a party of adventurers to escort a cargo from Westport, first following a caravan across the plains, and now across the channel from Lane's End to the town of Rothsea. 40 barrels is your cargo of cheap, terrible beer, all in the service of Centaur Martelads, a grim-faced merchant who's hired you as guards. This is a small sailing ship. The crew consists of you and Martelads, who's insisted on calling himself captain. He delayed your departure from Lane's End because the weather was so poor, hoping the storm would pass, but he got impatient and set off anyway. This, you now realise, was a mistake. And while he wrestles with the wheel at the front of the ship, it's already dark. The rain and wind pitches your vessel this way and that, and the lights of the town of Rothsea ahead of you flicker in the wind as you try and keep your ship vaguely pointing towards it in the hope that your cargo is lashed down enough to survive. We're going to enter straight into the action here. You're in the middle of a driving storm. your group, and you need to all take some action to try and, well, survive it, and survive it with your cargo intact. Your cargo, including Captain Martellus himself and his pouch of shiny gold coins that he's promised to you upon arrival in Rothsea. How this is going to work is you're each going to make an attribute check. Shadow the Weird Wizard doesn't really have skills, it just does attribute checks. And for this sort of group challenge, it's up to you to decide, sort of describe what you're doing, what kind of attribute you're going for. It could be strength, intellect, will, or agility. We're going to need a group check. We're going to need 2 successful rolls out of the 4 of you. And it's just difficulty 10 here to avoid a terrible fate and potentially a very short video. I wonder who will step forward first as the camera pans around the ship and describe what you are doing and how you are dealing with this storm. I wonder maybe if we go to Luriel first, most beauteous of you.
It is wise that you do. His garments are now plastered to his skin with the water and virtually see-through, and with the smooth head and everything else, he's got quite a dolphin aspect to him, actually. But he's convinced, he's nodding wisely as everybody else is scurrying about. What's the problem here? It's clearly insufficient piety and praise of the High One, the vanquisher of the adversary from paradise, the opener of the gates of heaven. And so he is going about exhorting everybody, saying, you must have faith. We cannot be damaged while he watches over us. The vanquisher of the adversary of paradise, the opener of the gates of heaven, will look after all of us. We just have to believe in him. So come on, everybody, let's just take a moment and praise his name. And I'm going to try and impress my will upon them to focus their minds on the High One, and this should see us through. Fantastic.
I would potentially, I mean, this is going to manage your expectations before I say this. It's not going to happen. I would potentially give you a boon on this because you are, after all, a priest. Were you to have a more receptive audience, but I'm judging that in the driving rain, that boon is cancelled out by the bane of you trying to preach these people in the storm in the same way. So it's just going to be a straight roll with your will bonus.
Seems reasonable. I am with this band of miscreants because where is the joy? Where is the success in converting people already willing? It's the unwilling I need to convert, of course. Thankfully, my will is strong enough that that's a total of 11, which beats the target number.
Fantastic. So I think there is maybe a few shafts of moonlight to illuminate the boat, and momentarily it almost feels to the remaining 3 of you that the storm stills for a moment and you're able to gather your wits about you, and you can see Rothsy in the distance approaching. You are heading in the right direction, but it's still going to be a terrible battle to get there. I wonder if we see what Barm is doing next.
Well, Barm has been absolutely loving this rain. He's taken a seat on the prow of the boat and he's taken off his helmet to catch the rain there, just to enjoy it and listen to the pitter patter. And then suddenly the waves lash over, drench him, and he realizes that he's in the thick of a storm, and he turns around and looks to see on the deck where everybody else is, and realizes that the man with all the coin is about to be washed over. So with an agile leap, he jumps across to the other side of the boat to try and make sure that he doesn't slip off or anything like that, but more importantly, make sure that the pouch doesn't fall off overboard.
Excellent. So I think that's probably agility, the way you described it. So go ahead and roll.
Let's check that. Oh. That is with my bonus 13. 11 plus 2 is 13. So that comfortably slides under the mast.
And Martellus is wrestling with the tiller and trying to get away from me. What are you doing? What are you doing? But you hold on and hold him firm and save him from being washed away. The storm is still raging though, so although we have the 2 successes, I'm going to make the 2 of you roll still to see if you can get a slightly better outcome from this here. Clint, what's Jalaxy doing while this is going on?
Yeah, so Jalaxy also has skin-tight, wet robes, not quite as dolphin-looking as L'Oreal. He does have the calves of a dancer, right? So he's very well fit down in the lower region of his legs, and he decides that he is going to go try to secure the cargo. while nobody's looking. And since it is shadowy, just to try out some of his magic that he's been keeping inside, especially around L'Oreal. He's not a believer. He believes in other things that give him power, and so he's in the minutes of shadow, he decides to dissipate using Mantle of Darkness to go down to the cargo and see if there's a way that he can strengthen it and hold it in. He also, because he loves dancing, does the mambo on his way down there as he does his Mantle of Darkness.
Amazing. Mambo of Darkness. I'm still going to make you roll.
The darkest of dances.
Yeah. If you want maybe an intellect check, that seems to Mantle of Darkness does normally work, but to secure the cargo, it'll be an intellect roll. Ooh.
That would be a 5.
That is not enough as you appear.
It's been a long time since I've danced the mambo.
It is. Yeah. You appear below decks, and I think how we'll do it, you appear, those strong dancers' calves appear suddenly knee-deep in water already as traveling through the shadows to the hold, you realize what a terrible state the ship already is. You can see barrels of beer floating off in the distance through a gaping hole in the ship's side, taking on water here, and you have to quickly grab one of the broken barrels and try and bail out while eagerly looking to see if you have enough room, enough time to get there before the ship itself sinks. Finally, Halifax, can you attempt to save some heroism from this?
He's not going to attempt to save some heroism, but he's going to attempt to save some money. My captain, my brave captain, you almost got washed overboard. Such coins, such weapons, they are merely weighing you down. Let me take them to your course. Let me unburden you of your weight and make sure these things are safe for our journey. I'm just basically going to try and effectively rob him while talking to him.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering whether there is a boon available to.
I was going to say, as Barm is wrestling with him, I think there is indeed a boon as you argue. Oh, you don't need to pass me your purse. I'll take it myself with this dagger that I happen to have. Yeah. Yes, a bit agility is what you normally use for that sort of thing.
So I get an extra D6 on the roll. Yep.
Yeah, and I think you get a boon as well for your thief stuff, don't you?
Use this to make an actual roll of 1 boon once each round. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trickery. Yeah.
Trickery certainly is relevant here.
Cool. Let's do that. And I take the highest D6, so that is, and I said intellect, so that is 20.
I don't think it won't be 20.
Oh, sorry, no, sorry. I mean that totally wrong.
What trickery is this? You're trying to steal a victory.
7, less. Yeah. So just for people watching at home, and for the rest of us around the table who are momentarily confused as well, including myself. When you roll with boons, you take the highest D6 and add it to your D20 roll. So that 6 is the highest D6, and the 2 is an 8. You've got a -1 on agility, or
+3 on agility.
+3, so that would be 8, 11. So it is in fact a success. So you managed to retrieve the pouch of coins
Keep it
from
safe.
Martellus and keep it safe. As the ship limps towards Rothsea, it just about makes it onto the pier on the point. It's not quite that Pirates of the Caribbean thing where it sinks down. It is still just about seaworthy, and as you tie it off to the shore, it will momentarily stay afloat. However, and Jalaxy will tell you, a lot of the cargo has been damaged, and Martellus looks grim-faced as he steps onto the shore. You can see that Rothsea is quite a small town, and what immediately strikes you is that there's a few lights on. There's lots of fishermen's huts along the way. Deeper into town, there may be obviously some shops and other places of civilization, but shining out towards you as you step onto the pier is a dockside tavern, the Rusty Hook. You can almost feel the warmth emanating from it and the smell of stew that greets your nostrils. Martellus says, thank you. Well, I fear much of our cargo is lost, but we have arrived on this leg. I suggest we make our arrangements in here, and I can secure the funds for your payment onward travel. To the Rusty Hook, gentlemen, and he sort of ushers you forward.
Yeah, don't worry, mortals. The High One, vanquisher of the adversary of paradise and opener of the gates of heaven, wants everything to be a struggle so you have just enough and you're not overburdened with extra money or wealth or become lazy and idolent. This treacherous and wondrous journey that we're on, it's meant to be painful and a struggle so that you just about succeed, and that gives you that little glimmer of hope for when the gates are finally opened by him, the High One.
My friend Luriel, that is, you speak so well and so eloquently about such things, but do you not think that maybe our client might want their goods delivered despite the hardships that we have endured? And I would suggest that maybe we can perhaps obtain some beer here and perhaps augment it some way to put amongst several barrels. I mean, the quantity of beer that we were carrying was not exactly of high quality, so maybe we can effect a sort of replacement of some description. Of course, provided by your godly your godly insight.
Well, your generosity is indeed one of the virtues of the vanquisher of the adversary from paradise and the opener of the gates of heaven. So this is good to hear that you're finally listening to my lessons. Let us go then to this rusty hook and procure some beer.
Jalaxy speaks and says, "It says, ah, yes, another virtue is stew. Let's go eat."
And Martellus says, "Indeed, it would be good." So I'm glad you, because I seem to have somewhere in the storm. I seem to have mislaid my pouch. I'm sure it'll be back on the ship somewhere, but so I shall have to search for it, I think.
Do not worry, my good captain. The food and drinks are on me, and sort of like flip some coins in the air.
Oh, how uncharacteristically generous of you.
Oh, a little gambling here and there before we set off. Some riches. Let's share amongst my fellows.
Yes, well, very well. And you enter the Rusty Hook. The Rusty Hook is a warm, welcoming, inviting tavern. Its clientele, you can see, glancing around, seem to be the more sort of well-to-do fishermen or travellers to Rothsea. It's fairly quiet in here, and as you glance around, you see that people look a little bit grim-faced. There's all the trappings of a lively harbour pub, but the landlord, Torvin, a dwarf, is keen to greet you with happy words, despite the sort of grim tone of the rest of the establishment. His only other member of staff, Actis, is an elf who lost a leg in a fight with a beast from the deep, and she limps towards you and says, travellers, you've made it here in that storm. Oh, it's just great you have been delivered to us. I'm afraid we do not have an extensive menu, but I can certainly get you some fish stew and some of our fine ale.
Be much appreciated. Maybe some accommodations.
Says, oh yeah, we have some rooms upstairs. Do we have any vacancies? And Torvin says, if we do indeed. We've not had visitors in Rothsea for the past few weeks, have we? Says, oh no, not. And she sort of gives him a sharp look as if not to put you off. Says, I shall get the rooms ready and get the stew. I better says, actually, I better go change the barrel. Actually, we've not had customers in it. As you glance around, there's a few other sort of patrons, all studiously sort of avoiding your gaze as you come in, and you have a bit of a moment to yourselves to sort of find a spot at the bar and relax while they fix up your beer and stew. I'm gonna just again, we'll have a little quick skill check from here. I wonder which of you four is the most likely to be keeping an ear to the ground and listening to what is going on with these. Probably, I think it's either Balm or Halifax, I think, isn't it? They're the two more down-to-earth people. Do you two each want to make me a little will check? Sure. Difficulty 10. See if you can garner anything from this situation.
13.
4.
Yeah, the promise of the thought of beer and the smell of stew is overwhelming for you, Balm.
Yeah, I think so, and I think that the criminally miserable face on the landlord is also kind of putting me off a little bit. If I was still in my former employ, I would probably slap a fine on him.
For not being happy enough.
Yes, he complaining that they haven't had visitors, and now we come with a ship full, half full, quarter full, whatever it is left of goods. He should be happier.
And a bag full of coin.
The
Yeah,
likely
well,
bylaw
exactly.
that Barn wants to
Exactly.
enforce here about hospitality. Luckily, Halifax, you have your ear to the ground, and you can see that there's whispers going around as people are sort of on your arrival. They're finishing their beers fairly quickly. You can see they're going, and one of them is saying, "Oh, I don't want to be. You want to be home before nightfall out in this weather." And it's like you hear somebody say, "What? The rats won't come out in weather like this, surely, will they?" It's like, "Oh no, they'll be washed away." It's like, "They're rats. They'll survive anywhere." And then they sort of dull their voices again as they realise that they might be audible as they sort of shuffle off. And just as you overhear this, you hear a scream from the cellar. Torvin looks aghast and sort of makes to run down, but is also sort of looking a little bit expectantly at you guys to respond. And as he goes down, he says, "Oh no, help, help." He rushes down. "Help, help. It's an attack. It's an attack."
Attacked by whom, Torvin?
"No, help, no." And you can hear the sounds of that scuffle in the cellar.
I'll just shout
Eager
out,
Barn.
"This is agents of the adversary. They wish to shut again the gates of heaven. We must prise them open. To arms, to arms." So I'm going to rush downstairs.
I'll rush
Heaven
out.
Schmeven. And I put on the mantle of darkness just in case.
I draw my short sword and head downstairs after.
Yeah.
Fantastic. As you rush down, you're faced with a scene in there. The usual pub cellar, there are barrels of ale that are being rolled up and stuff, and you can see there's stores and stuff. There's a sort of collapsed wall on one corner that looks like it's been roughly boarded up sort of several times. Actis and Torvin are in the middle of it, being tormented by a total of 4 rats the size of sort of huge dogs. So not quite man-sized, but certainly when we say giant rat, we mean sort of like 5 feet along, not sort of 2 feet along.
Chihuahua sized.
Yeah. Big dog rat sized. They're on the floor and being menaced by these rats. And you can see that Actis is wounded on her arm from where she's tried to sort of hold one off. Torvin is trying to roll around and get to his feet, but the battle is certainly not going their way. So, assuming that you wish to intervene, normally in Shadow of the Weird Wizard, my characters would go first. They already have by attacking Torvin and Actis. And indeed, the start of the round will go to you guys as you respond. They are sort of aware of you. You've not completely got the surprise with them as you barrel down the stairs, but you can certainly act first to try and tackle these 4 giant rats.
Cool. I'm going.
Go on.
I was just going to sort of backstab one of the rats that's all like sort of on top of Torvin or sorry, what's the other person's name? Actis. So yeah, I'll choose one of them and just sort of stab the rat that's trying to like go at them, basically, like in the back.
Fantastic. And in Shadow of the Weird Wizard, you can go in whatever order you want. I mean, we'll just pipe up and see who it is, but it makes sense that you would be the first to react anyway, Halifax. So go ahead and roll with your, I think you have trickery as well on that, don't you? And you can backstab.
Yeah.
They are defense.
Yeah, backstab is extra damage, but I get 1 boon from the trickery.
Yeah, they are defense 12, so that's your target number to hit them.
Okay, and I'm rolling on strength. I'm on that, am I? Or agility?
I think it's whatever your target is. I think I'd worked it out on the thing, so I think it's +3 for you. Because it's cool. You can use agility with a short sword.
So that is 20.
That is 20. That is, in fact, a critical. Because you scored 20 and you've beaten it by 5. Your short sword on a critical makes the target weakened. So this rat will be not as powerful as it tries to act against you as you pierce it, but also roll your damage because that might make it very much not as powerful at all.
So I roll a d6 and again extra d6 for backstab.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, that's Not very good. So I get 6 in total, +3 for 1d, +3 for 1d6 damage on short sword. So just 3, or is it 6?
It's just 3. You don't get your bonus.
Just 3.
And you don't
Okay, cool.
So yeah, this you slice at this rat, and it rolls away to face you. But you can see the blood dripping out of it from there. Yeah. So Halifax has been. Who wants to go next? Who's the next to charge in?
I think Barn will leap in with his sword waving, slashing it into the air, and hoping that he can get as many of these rat critters in a whirling dervish of excitement.
Absolutely. So I think you get a boon on that as well, don't you? Because you're a fighter.
Yeah. +2 plus a boon. So let's roll this. It's plus, even with the +2 and the boon, he gets a 9.
Yeah, they jump out of the way of your blade as you try.
It's okay. I've scattered them.
You do indeed manage to scatter them. There's probably a moment where you could have sliced one, but there were obviously the 2 people in the pub were just there, and there's enough of your former guard training that makes you stop your blade before you slice them into them as well. So you have scattered them though. They're at all 4 corners of the cellars now, but turning to go towards you. Who's going to go next?
I'll go next.
Go ahead, Jalaxy.
So I turn towards one of the rats and I just say, "You look a little past your prime." And I start to do the salsa. And as I start to do the salsa, sudden horrid aging is inflicted upon one of the rats, pending a really good dice roll.
Okay, so you've got to roll against their strength. Their strength is only 6, so you do. Yeah, it doesn't need to be really good; it just need to be good enough.
That would be a 19.
A 19 is certainly enough. And so, what does that do? They are weakened until your next turn, aren't they? So yeah, one of the rats you see suddenly stops moving very quickly and sort of curls up into a ball. It still doesn't quite know what's happening, so it's trying to do, but you can see its fur begin to fall out as it ages and becomes some venerable ancient rat before your eyes. Finally, Luriel.
Now I want to ask about rat years and I like dog years or something. But we'll put that to one side.
Yeah.
The reason I've last is because I was finding some wine so that I could sanctify my weapon. So with the droning of praise and the splash of cheap wine, I come in and look around for the nearest rat, squint at it, and go and punish it with my mace.
Fantastic.
Or not, as the case may be.
Yeah.
You give it a stir to it. More kind of, how you flick things with a sensor. It's like that. I'm sort of spraying it with bits of wine, asking it to recant.
Yeah, it stops and begins to lick the wine off its fur for a moment. That's the only effect you may have on it from that. And that is the end of the round. It is now their go. So they're going to try and bite you. Now, to make this really straightforward, there's 4 of them. There's 4 of you. They're going to attack you each in turn. So they're rolling with a +1. So just let me know if this hits you each time. So Balm, I think a 17 will probably hit your defense, won't it?
Yeah, my defense is 16. Yeah.
Fantastic. So would you like to take 4 points of damage as its teeth sink into you? The way damage works, it sort of ticks up. So if you write like damage 4 rather than taking it off your health, because your health can go down as well.
Gotcha.
And it's like your maximum hit points. Like when your damage equals your health, you're knocked out or incapacitated. When your health gets to 0, you die, basically, is the way it works. Let's say Halifax. There's a 16 here.
It does indeed. Defense 11.
Yeah, that's going to be 1 point of damage. A glancing blow from one that you stabbed. Jalaxy, 13.
That's a hit.
So he takes 6 points of damage. One really doesn't like the salsa on here. Or thought it was some sort of spicy sauce making you...
It's an acquired taste.
Yeah. And in fact... Oh, actually, wait a minute. Let me just roll that again because it should have been... No, I think 11 still hits you. It should be rolling with a Bane. And finally, Luriel. 18. These rats are doing all right, aren't they?
It does, but... I've got an ability which lets me use a reaction to dodge or withstand. So can I use that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know how I do a dodge. Is it like an agility roll or something?
I think it means you give him a bane on his attack. I think that's what happens. Let me just check Luriel's character sheet for us.
Ah, yes.
Quick question. I see there was a D6 that was a 6 and a D6 that was a 1. Which one was my damage?
Sorry,
the
damage.
The one was for me.
Yeah, the
Oh,
damage
got
was
it.
6,
So I was the 6. Got it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh yeah, you can. You can use your logic armor thing, can't you?
Mm.
So yeah, you surround yourself with mathematical symbols of logic, and that means you take 1 point of damage. You take the minimum that you could possibly take from that attack. As this rat looks confused by the maths that you've summoned. It's back to you guys now.
What is this trigonometry trickery?
Yes, the rats appear to have the upper hand. They've certainly had a better round than you guys did. As a reminder, you can obviously help each other by giving yourselves boons from that. And you can, because this is the start of a new round, you've all got reactions as well. So you can always use those to respond when you get hit. Should we go back to the top to Balm, maybe?
Yeah, so I had a reaction when I was harmed to heal half your damage total and impose a bane on attacks against you until the start of the next turn. So would that count for the previous? Or is that too late?
It happens now, if you see what I mean. They'll get the bane from that. So yeah, you can trigger it when you got hit, though. That's
okay. So I can halve the damage that I took, and now I've got a bane. Or the person, the rat that's been attacking.
The rat has a bane, I think.
Okay, well, I spin around and I am quite displeased. So, well, that is not a way to treat a man of the law, he says. Man of the law. And he waves his sword pathetically in front of him.
And Luriel says, yes, a man of the Lord.
Stabs him. Man of the law. Oh, be quiet, Lucille. And he finally finds a moment to thrust it at the under the chin of this rat in a way that is
just enough, I think, isn't it?
12.
Yeah, 12 is enough to hit. Yeah, do your damage.
Yeah, and that damage is 3d6 slashing. Oh, this is an incredible. What that blood splatters everywhere as the innards of this rat's throat covers me and anyone within a D3 yard splash radius, I'm guessing. Something like that. Is that how these games work?
I mean, it's a good rule. I like that we've got it. Most people, you're in a cellar, most people are within a D3 yard. So yeah, and they have got fewer than 15 hit points. You are correct to realise. So you have indeed vanquished it. There are 3 rats left. Balm has managed to dispatch his. Halifax, what can you do?
It's like that. Do it like that.
Yeah.
Halifax picks up like the nearest ball from one of the shelves nearby and sort of like smashes it near the rat that's in front of him. His head sort of distracts it and then sort of stabs it as it turns. That's the plan. Doing a little bit of trickery. So I'll roll a boon. Get rid of that. Yeah. That is 6, 8, 11.
12 is what you need, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Again, it ducks away from you, unable to get the action from there. Yeah, that is not Halifax's. Jalaxy, what are you going to do? I turn the tide. There are only 3 of them left now.
Yeah. Is my aging rat still kicking over in the corner?
Yeah, it's still moving. It's still weakened, but it's.
Yeah, I look at it and I start to tap dance. And I decide that I'm going to displace it out of time so that it blinks out of existence. And when I look at it, I just say, we'll see you later, alligator.
Excellent. So how this spell works, it will be see you later, alligator. You need to make a luck roll. If you fail, you blink out of existence.
Yes.
So a luck roll is just a flat D20. You need to get 10 or higher to succeed.
Yes. 17.
So it does momentarily, at least. Yeah, this rat disappears. So at the end of the turn, it needs to make a luck roll to reappear as it's displaced out of time. And Luriel finally.
Well, Luriel's now motivated by the chants of Man of God from behind him, from his good friend Barn. So he's going to stride forward and remember that he gets a boon on rolls now, which I forgot last time.
That's
But
good, isn't it? Yeah.
this time I remember it may or may not make a difference. It is not going to make a difference, however. But I am going to use my battle blessing, so a reaction when I miss an attack, and I grant each ally within 5 yards, which was established is everybody here.
It's everyone, yeah.
You get a boon on attack rolls and immunities to the frightening condition for 1 minute.
Nice.
Wow.
So we've all got a boon and
Cool.
can't be frightened anymore.
Excellent. So you're all able to be booned from there. Right. It is down to the rats again, with 3 of them left. What they're going to do is 2 of them are going to... in fact, no, there's 2 of them left, aren't there? So forgive me, because one's been blinked out of existence. The 2 that are left are going to... are actually going to gang up on Barn and attempt to do it. So they would have a bane to hit you, but
They would. Yes.
they get a boon because they're ganging up, because they're helping each other, if you see what I mean. So it's just a flat d20 plus 1, and I'm afraid that means that they miss. Frustrating. I'm gonna roll the luck check for the one that was blinked out of existence now as well, because he might reappear, and indeed he does. Looking very confused and still looking quite old. This one reappears, maybe in a different place on top of one of the barrels, like looking around stunned, not sure what's happening. But it's back to your round now. Maybe we go to Halifax first.
Sure. So Halifax is having soaked the rat and the area that it's in sort of like, well, not high end liquor, but definitely flammable liquor.
Yeah.
Pulls out a little matchbook from his pocket, lights a match, and throws it towards the rat, setting that little corner on fire, and attacks the thing as it sort of like squeals and is distracted by the fire. So I got a boon from Luriel's thing.
Yeah.
A boon for being a tricky bastard, and rat. Boop. Oh, that's still a terrible roll.
Yeah.
Very bad roll.
There's a
7, 10.
Yeah, there's a cut to Torvin's eye as he turns towards the fire that has actually caught in one corner of the cellar with terror.
Just says pub on fire.
Pub. Yeah. Looks up at his wood-framed pub above there. Never mind. Barm, what are you going to do? There are 2 of them that are sort of active and one that's quite confused now.
So I think that I wonder whether the one that looked back into existence looked back on the end of his sword. I just wonder.
It could happen, couldn't it?
His arm is flailing around like a reckless lunatic.
Go ahead and roll, and if you hit it, maybe that's what happened.
22. No, 24. I think I did.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not. It's 17, isn't it? It's 17, 17 19.
So it's just not a crit, but it is a hit still. So you still do damage. Indeed, it does indeed appear on the end of your blade. Roll your damage to see if that proves fatal for it or not.
7.
I
think there's mad movement from me and mad movement from it as it twitches into a little bit of.
Yeah, it's not quite displaced by it, but it's not having a good day, that one, at all.
Is it still skewered on my sword so that I can bash it against the wall next time? As a reaction or something like that, maybe even.
I think it's hanging onto your sword with its claws and trying to scamper down to bite you. Is what it's doing. Luriel, let's see what you're up to.
Well, I'll find the beefiest, meatiest rat that's still going alive, and this time I remember what's wrong. I've not said my prayers, of course, to the High One, the vanquisher of the adversary from paradise, the opener of the gates of heaven. So I shall do that at length and then swing my mace down. And this time I have 2 boons.
Yeah, the beefiest, meatiest one is the one that you've been fighting, because everyone else has managed to hit But that looks better, doesn't it? That looks better. That's 12 plus whatever bonus you've got right there.
Plus lots more. It's only got a 12 target number, so that's fine. And because of my blessing, I get an extra d6 on damage as well with my mace. So I smash it for 14 damage.
That defeats it. Do you want to add a bit of flavour to that?
I'll just, as it's looking up a bit confused and slightly drunk on the wine, I say, and now you shall pass through the gates, and I'll smash it through a grate in the floor.
It does. Its eyes illuminated with faith as you smash it down into that. It's in 2 bits. It fits
scene
through.
of the heavens gates where it squeezes through.
Sees the light at the end of the sewer or something. Yeah. It's their turn now. What they're going to try and do, the 2 remaining ones, is run away, having had half of their number defeated. So what they're going to try and do is I think you're going to have a chance to sort of strike them if you're engaged with them as they run away, which is certainly Balm, and possibly also, I mean, Laurie, I don't know if you're engaged, although you're really near to it, aren't you? So, I mean, go ahead and have a free attack while they try and run away. And if you don't take them out, they're going to escape, these rats. Maybe Balm, if you go first, because you're the most likely to.
I've already hit, sorry.
Oh, right, you've already
12
hit, okay.
damage.
12, okay, one of them's dead, yeah, definitely. Luriel takes one of them, one more, goes to the gates of heaven.
John, your brother.
Yeah.
Oh, 13, and so that's a hit. No, 15 is a hit, and then 11 damage.
It's 9, it's 11 to hit, isn't it? Yeah, +2. Say the highest D6. Jag, so I think it's...
Oh, yeah, your 9 +2 is 11 to...
Yeah, not enough to it. Jalaxy, you can have go, and Halifax, you can have go, though. Trying to see if there's one rat can escape.
Still up been from Luriel, yeah. Yeah, cool. I'm not really doing any trickery here, just hitting a thing. Which apparently works quite well.
Yes.
21.
That hits, yeah, roll your damage.
What is it? Just D6. Am I backstabbing them
You are,
technically as they run away? Yeah.
Backstab triggers when any ally is engaged with it as well. So
yeah.
Cool. And we're in a tiny little cellar.
9.
That is enough to defeat it as well. And so, with the rats dispatched, Torvin leaps up and begins extinguishing the fire in the corner of the cellar with the cheapest beer that he has. Oh no, a beer! If only we had more beer supplies. Yeah, he shouts at you, hopefully. He says,
especially watery beer, don't worry, this is ideal for this.
We happen to have some very fine ale aboard our boat that we can sell to you for a reasonable consideration. Yeah, very fine.
And he says, "Oh, thank you for saving us." And just as they sit down, he says, "We'll get your stew and beer soon, but you seem like capable fighters once you've sort of warmed up a bit." They say, he says that it's just been like this for weeks. 2 weeks ago, that trawler washed up on the beach. That's what started it. And Actis says it's nothing to do with the trawler. It's nothing. There's always been rats in Rothsea, but never as much as this. People get bitten on the street. People are scared to go down at their cellars anymore. Or
they're huge, though. I've never seen rats so big.
Yeah.
They're always that big?
Well, like I say, we've always had rats. I mean, you wouldn't. The Vermin Catchers Guild normally sees them, but they have been no use at all.
Rodents of unusual size.
Indeed, very unusual.
It would be if you're staying a few days. It would be very grateful if you could help us resolve this problem.
I'm sure we could find our way to doing such a thing if there's suitable recompense, of course.
This is it's fishing town, but we can muster some funds, I'm sure.
I had a meeting to find out more about the High One vanquish of the adversary from Paradise and up with the gates of heaven. I'm sure you haven't heard nearly enough about him in this sordid place.
I'm sure there's lots of, they look at each other and say, I'm sure there's lots of fishermen in the village who are quite keen to have some sort of some spiritual guidance. Actually, it has taken a bit of a hit recently.
Good long sermons ready, don't worry. Oh yes, we shall spend all the 3 days hence. I shall prepare a special one.
And with that sort of agreement, they serve you a stew and suggest that you maybe in the morning try and investigate this. As I said, Actis has tried to make the claim that it all started when a trawler a wreck washed up on the beach to the north, but Torvin is having none of that because it just doesn't seem to be relevant to the rats. You also have in the cellar, hastily being boarded up again, a hole that leads into the tunnels from whence they came. And you also know that there is actually a vermin catchers guild in the town, and it might be worth thinking about what they have been doing. The evening is fairly grim, and you hear Torvin and Actus talking. He says, "It's no good. It's not even that. Even that bard hasn't come in for a while. He's the only. You should talk to him. He's the only other outsider who's arrived. He used to come in and play his songs, but he hasn't the past few days. You know, he comes in and cheers us up a bit. Jest, his name is."
Oh, well, I could always sing some psalms.
And I could always dance.
No,
to
no,
said
Luriel,
songs.
Luriel. They wanted.
Oh, this
they
is a
wanted-
match
they-
made in heaven.
They wanted cheering up, and with all due respect, my friend, your psalms are not always as uplifting as you might imagine.
I could perhaps sing it a
but you've
little
never heard
faster to
them.
make it jaunty.
Well, with whatever entertainment you can muster yourselves from that.
I like the camera outside the pub, and you can see the tap dancing to a religious psalm with.
yeah. There's like a
Everyone's
silhouette.
outside the pub, no one's inside.
Yeah, a few customers appear, look in the window, and turn around and go the other way. We can fade to black and have a night's rest. In a night's rest, you recover all your damage. I don't think anyone took any health damage, and no one got infected by the rats either, so you're all right with that. And as dawn breaks, Torvin wakes you up with another bowl of hearty stew, and implores you to make haste. Says you should go find it while the rats are asleep. You could investigate.
They don't come out during the day at all. Nocturnal, are they?
They say, "Oh yeah, they very, very rare." Actor says, "Yeah, that one did come out, didn't it?" And chase those fishermen away. Oh yeah, so but not as often. It's mostly at night.
What was about this trawler you mentioned yesterday? Something washed up the shore a little bit north.
Yeah,
And you thought it was all to do with the rats.
Shipwreck. A few of the fishermen went to look at it, but said they couldn't find anything. Came back.
Okay.
I mean, it happened the same time as the rat problem started, but I'm sure that's just a coincidence. They say.
I see. Yeah, I mean, yeah, lots of coincidences.
To ask a slightly meta question and
Go
to
ahead.
character, is this one of those games where you embrace parties splitting up and going to investigate different things? Or is it a finely tuned game where you need all of you together in case there's a band of roving rats that you need to fight, for example?
I mean, I can't promise that there isn't a band of roving rats, as established in the fiction, that there definitely actually is a band of hundreds of rats under this town. But I think splitting it would be a great way for you to tackle this, because you've got sort of, well, at least 3 threads you could follow. So splitting up, you could tackle at least 2 of them. For my sanity, maybe do 2 at once rather than 4 at once. But yeah, certainly you can split the party.
So
Yeah,
we've got
okay.
the trawler, we've got the hole in the cellar, and we've got the
The Vermin Catchers Guild.
bard. Oh, the vermin catchers guild.
There's also the bard Jest, but we haven't really got
Yeah.
to leave him, so we might just bump into him. Well, I'm gonna suggest Jalaxy. Let us perhaps head to the Vermin Catchers Guild.
I have experience in guilds, indeed. Let us go.
Yes, let's do that. Routing around a barge or a wreck or a troll or something, that sounds like more work for Halifax and Barn, to be honest. They found that they'll be much more at home there.
Indeed, we will. And Barn, if you'll come with me, and I start whispering to Barnes here. Of course, there might be things to find, and maybe goods, etc., to rescue from such a thing
There
that
might
the
be-
fishermen haven't noticed the value of.
Well, there might be things to find, and there might be things to fine and impound with as he flashes his official badge of honor, no, badge of office.
Is that badge legit?
That might 100% town guard.
Can I see it more close up?
That's as close as you get, Halifax.
Okay.
Look,
Yeah,
the name
I've got
scratched out.
a couple of those badges as well.
Yeah, I've seen them, but no, this is mine. It's even emblazoned with my name on the back, signed by the official officer that I
Oh,
served.
really?
under.
Can I see that?
No.
Okay.
Amazing.
Let's go.
And so, with our heroes splitting up and going their separate ways, that might be a good time for us to take a quick break. We will edit it down, so it'll just be a few seconds for you at home, but we will have some hearty fish stew and recover any damage that we've taken as players, and we'll see you back in a few seconds. Welcome back, our heroes. Not quite shipwrecked on Rothsea. The ship is not quite a wreck, it's just about seaworthy, but nevertheless, they're going to stay, and their employer has told them he's going to stick around in Rothsea for a little bit. He suddenly finds himself in the need of finding some funds to pay them, as his coin was is washed away overboard, probably, during the storm. And you've determined to investigate the rat problem. I believe that we had a plan before we broke for Luriel and Jalaxy to go and see what's going on at the Vermin Catchers Guild, and Halifax and Barn to investigate the trawler that had washed up. So we will split to those two pairs going off there. Beginning maybe at the Vermin Catchers Guild House, you can get directions to this quite easily, and you see a fairly impressive looking building, the two of you, as you approach. It seems unusual that a town of this size could sustain such a big guild just for catching rats, really. And the sign that's got sort of a stylized rat above it in a circle sits above the big thick guild doors, which are very, very much closed. And as you approach, there's not really any signs, and peering through the windows and stuff, there's not really any signs of any activity within. Now, what approach do you want to take?
Well, first I'm going to check, are they actually the Vermin Catchers Guild? Is there signs of pigeons above? Is there bird poo smeared down the signs? Or is the building itself free of any kind of vermin feathered or fairy tailed?
That's interesting. Well, yeah, the building is in fact free, and you can notice at the top there's some sort of netting that's put down. It looks in very good order, this. And in fact, I mean, give me a little intelligence check, maybe difficult class 10, to sort of investigate what you can tell from the architecture and so on of it.
Oh, I love a bit of architecture, especially churches. Yeah, I get it. I get it. 10. Dead on.
Yeah. Your knowledge of churches. It is, in fact, I mean, as you glance around the other shops and sort of places around here, this is a very well appointed building, actually. To say it's the Vermin Catchers Guild, not only is it untouched by any sort of pigeon attention, but it's stout stone construction, and the wood's really high quality. The door's really thick and solid, actually. Clearly, there's a bit of money in vermin catching here.
You seem to be my kind of people. They know how to live. Indeed. I would like to just knock on the door. See, shave and a haircut.
Yeah, there's no reaction to your knock. Just make me a will check, sort of perception style will check, Jalaxy. And in fact, Lily, you could as well. Although there's no need now because Jalaxy's made it. Let's not waste perception on that. You do hear some movement inside as you knock on the door, as if somebody is in there but isn't moving to let you. The door, and as you try it, it is locked.
Brother Jalaxy, tell me if I am mistaken, for the storm was furious last night, but I seem to remember you seem to disappear between the beams of the deck. Are you perhaps able to slip through this oaken door, and I'll give it a more robust knock with my mace to really just in case they didn't hear the first knock.
Well, I can turn invisible, but I don't know if I can go through small spaces. It's possible I could displace myself in time and reappear inside, maybe open the door. Depends on if the gods allow such a thing.
I think you could definitely do that. I think there's definitely a skill check involved in that, as we twist and bend slightly what your chronomancy and shadowmancy can do with this. I think what's at stake here is I mean, I think I'm going to let you slip in using magic anyway because it's fun. And what's at stake with a skill roll is the manner of your appearance, because you're sort of going in blind. We don't really know what goes on within this house, but there's probably enough to show they might not just be vermin catchers. So a failure on this roll is going to make you appear in a quite inconvenient place for yourself. Is how we'll do it.
Is this a luck roll?
I think we'll let you do it with intellect because you're sort of using your magic.
I appreciate that.
You would, yeah.
All right, that'd be a 14.
Amazing. So you can slip through, and you do indeed manage to appear just to the other side of the door. You're in a sort of receiving corridor. There are doors off here. There's clearly sounds of movement in here, as if people are, and almost a hushed argument going on in the back room. But before you get to that, you can turn the latch and obviously let Luriel in, and you can appear in the Vermin Catchers Guild.
I'll just have a.
Go on, sorry.
I was just going to have a slight smile on my face and say, "If the gods allow."
I wink and I say, "Can you tell by my jasmine scent that they approve?"
Indubitably.
And as you step into this corridor and the hushed argument going at the back, let's cut to the trawler. So it's a little way to the north, and you have to wend your way through some sort of paths around the cliffs to the north of Rothsea before you find a rocky beach. And you can see, tipped half on its side, still half submerged where the tide is now, an old, quite ruined boat, quite large. By the look of it, it took a real battering on the way in, and it certainly isn't seaworthy, and it certainly isn't in any sense. It looks as if it was quite badly damaged even before it was dashed against the rocks of this cliff. There's a gaping hole in the sort of side that opens into what you might surmise as the cargo hold. The actual deck is sort of sloping at an angle above this.
Okay.
So what's your approach as you sort of approach? Oh, and it's got the name is painted on it. The Rum Jug.
Okay.
Is over there as well.
Is like the captain's quarters, or where that would be on the boat, is that like sort of above water?
Yeah, it's sort of halfway above and below. So you've got two ways really to get into it. You could go through the cargo hold and try and climb up, or you could try and climb up the outside and sort of get in from there.
What do you think, my friend? I think the captain's quarters might contain some information, maybe a log or something of what they were carrying. Or
I think that's probably a fair surmise of what we should be looking at for sure. But I'm looking into the cargo hold from where it is as you're talking to me. I'm thinking, well, are those are unusual fittings inside the cargo hold? What can I surmise about what cargo has been held in the hold of cargo from out here before we venture into the cargo?
As you sort of peer in to the dim light of the hold, you can see some flooded out sacks of grain and sort of general supplies. There's some clear and I think both you and Halifax would recognise this. Either this trawler was very, very likely sort of filled with cargo, or somebody has already been here and taken whatever was of value or still salvageable. There's clear sort of gaps where you definitely store. If you're taking grain, you could take some more grain there, and some bits where there's been some like sea chests or something that have clearly been taken away and moved out by whichever fishermen or wanderers or raiders got here first. Do you want to give me a little intellect check just to see if you can surmise anything else from it?
Both of us?
Both of you can do, yeah.
Sure.
How long ago was it that Actus said?
So it was about a couple of weeks. Yeah, you both, as you sort of look in, because part of this hold is underwater, and you sort of have to search around and go in, but you find unusually underwater there's some chains which are bolted to the side of the hold, and actually what looks to be a cage there as well. Enough to transport maybe, well, at most you could probably get 4 people in if they were very tightly held, but it's almost like it's been used to transport some prisoners as well.
Are there like, or maybe some animals? Are there like scratches in the wood below the cage or anything like
No,
that?
there's not really signs of scratches. No.
Okay.
And the chains that you have, they have sort of manacles, which you would use. I mean, it could have been animals, but you could have kept a man chained up in here as well.
Okay.
I think going up to the captain's hold is a good idea. Maybe do you want to make the direct route? I'll take a route up the cargo's hold. I just want to take a closer look at the
Sure.
at the quality of this this space and see whether or not actually has been disturbed anywhere. Whether there's any signs of rats leaving a sinking ship or anything like that. That kind of stuff. See if there's anything there, and then I'll join you up there if I can find a way out the top.
Very well.
Excellent.
He
Do you want to
says,
just
not meta wishing to split the party.
not at all? No. It's that's a fancy. Do you want to just both make me agility rolls to climb up, and then we'll work out what we've got on there.
I don't think you got anything special for that.
Yeah, actually, I think
19.
That's a 21, so that's like a critical.
It is indeed a critical. So yeah, with the critical, I will give you a little bit more information. I think you would, as you look at the sacks of grain and stuff, the sodden grain, you notice something that isn't there. Normally, you'd expect on a ship traveling on the sea, certainly even on your little vessel, there were some rats aboard. There's no signs. Nothing's been chewed through. The rope is still as pristine as it was. Even the stuff in the cargo hold. There's not been any rats on board this ship at all.
Well, that is particularly interesting. I shall stow that information from the hold.
And you appear on deck. The captain's quarters, you can surmise, is there. The door is shut and it is locked.
That's handy. I've got some lockpicks.
It's indeed handy. Do you want to make me a little trickery roll to get in? Again, what's at stake is you're definitely going to get in because it's sort of essential for the plot. But it's how subtly you can get in and what you might find in there is sort of at stake here.
Okay,
sure. Whether you need to give it a good show. So give me an agility. You can use your trickery on here as well because it's
cool. 16, 19.
Fantastic. Yeah, it was 15. Sorry, I should have said, but yeah, you carefully put your lockpicks in the door, slides open, and you can enter the sort of slightly sloping captain's cabin. You can see there's a desk on it, which is mostly above the water. It looks as if there's a sort of graze on the desk where there maybe had been a sea chest before, but that chest has slid down into the I say a sea chest, like a small chest that was carried at sea, which maybe you would know would have sort of valuables in. That has slid down into the water, which now is sort of half of this slanted ship, and you can there is some movement within that water. You can just see a tentacle sort of reaching up and down, but there's the glint of the metal on that chest sort of calling to you as well. And at that point, as you sort of presumably seeing the tentacle sneak in and be a little bit more cautious as you walk in, let's go back to the Vermin Catchers Guild. So there's a hushed argument going on ahead of you. I'm assuming you make your way towards that.
With a man of intellect and a man of the high one vanquisher of the adversary from paradise up against the heaven, there's nothing we can't arbitrate. So we should have, and then once we've done that, they'll be in our debt and are only too keen to help us. So we must immediately rush to help them.
We're irresistible. And I start to do the mumbo, and I into a mantle of darkness up to wherever the hushed voices are.
Fantastic. And in fact, yeah, you will get this information invisibly as your invisibility mambo kicks in. And you can see as you peer through the crack of this open door, there's an argument going on between a pair of halflings, one of whom you would surmise from her hefty guild chains is maybe the guild master, or guild mistress rather, of the Vermin Catchers Guild. She is saying, look, it'll be any day now that it'll do it. All these rat attacks, he made a deal with us. He said any day now, and he'll get rid of them. And yes, it's been too long. I told you we couldn't trust him. It's just no good, and we can't keep us locked up. People are talking around the village. This is the worst deal we've ever done. And what's he doing? Hiding in the tunnels. It's ridiculous. And then at that, there's a sort of pause, and they look like, oh, we can't argue in front of the rest of the guild. They'll have us for it. And there's a sort of pause. They look as if they might be about to go about their way. A pause for which you could interject, in fact.
I feel like it's at a wedding when I'm like, I object.
And maybe the pause is because Luriel
Gaz.
has approached behind you in Luriel's...
I'm striding down the
stealth, not stealthy at all, yeah. Wait, can you hear footsteps, one of them says?
Yeah. And I'll push the door open theatrically, as if I'm entering the grand nape of a church or something.
I find a shadowy area inside of the room while he is the point person.
Brother and sister, I shall say, and then adjust my vision down by about 3 feet. Brother and sister, let us not bicker and argue like children. No offense. And I'll start to look a bit flustered as I have this pre-prepared speeches and going the way I hoped he would. Now I've seen him on Facebook. What ails you? You must be the chief mistress of the Vermin Masters Guild. And let me tell you, others are saying, not me, but other people are saying you're doing a terrible job. Is this your best catcher? Is it the best you can do? I come not to berate you, but merely to assist. How can we help you in your endeavours? You seem to be doing a lousy, awful job with rat attacks rampant. But tell me, what ails you?
They both, on your appearance, begin sort of backing away, and you can tell they've got one of them reaches for a short, so the other one's going to the wall to get a sort of man catcher type, like pole arm thing to get it. But they sort of pause at your genuine offer of help and glance at one another as if they're not sure what to do, as if the social challenges mechanic might be engaged here. In fact, so it sounds to me there are different kinds of social challenge in Shadow of the Weird Wizard. It sounds to me like this is an appeal. So you can have transaction, appeal, argument, alliance, or coercion. I think the nearest one is sort of appeal. You're appealing to their better nature. It doesn't sound like you're trying to intimidate them or cow them or coerce them into helping. It seems to me that you're just sort of striding in and offering to help and use that. So the way that works is you have to make a will test against their will. And you have to beat half or more of them, so you have to beat at least one of them. Maria has a will of 13, as befits a leader. Her second in command only has a will of 10, though, so you just have to beat 10, luckily, because he's there. If you wanted to, Jalaxy, you might be able to help here if you're willing to do it from your position of invisibility.
Yeah, of course. Is that an aid of some sort?
Yeah, so you would give Luriel a boon on this roll. But what you would need to do is sort of describe what you're doing, how you're going about it.
I think I'm going to go try to massage the guild master or whatever her official title is. We haven't confirmed that is who she is, the mistress. But in the shadows and it's almost like a pitter patter of my wispy fingers to try to just relax her a little bit.
Yeah, and the smell of jasmine is quite relaxing, actually.
Yeah, where's that jasmine coming from? It must be this religious man in front of me.
Yeah, it's funny. I feel more relaxed already. Yeah, so Gaz, you can roll with a boon from that.
Excellent. I'll lean into a line like, can you not hear them whispering about you on the streets, and get to last word, like giving like background sound effects to everything I'm saying. That kind of stuff. Okay, so I get 28.
That is in fact a critical success. I think it's
Effective.
definitely been by 5 or more, and it's 20.
You
or more.
marry her. That's
yeah. They look to each other, and then the second in command goes and like shuts the door and says, well, if you could aid us, that would be great. You know, we seek forgiveness. We are merely innocent vermin catchers, but we were offered a deal with a man who we now fear we cannot trust.
Ugh, you call him a man, I call him the adversary. Tell me more.
He looked like a man. He looked like a man. He had arrived a couple of weeks ago. Told us that, offered to rid the town of rats. We would be famed. We would get all the legitimate money we would need. And in fact, there's two of you glance around. It's clear that the Vermin Catchers Guild are not poorly off here either. There's quite a lot of, there's paintings and stuff hung up on the ceilings. There's Maria, the guild catcher, not only has this guild chain seems to be made of like bright silver, and the jewelry that she wears, while a little mismatched, doesn't seem to be a complete set. Is quite impressive, as if she's somehow acquired. They've acquired quite a lot of wealth somehow. But he told us that before it happened, he'd need to manufacture a threat, and so we should stay out of it. But we didn't know that the rats would overrun the town. We didn't know people would be killed and injured in the street. This isn't what we're about at all.
The forked words of the adversary, the honeyed seduction. You must reverse from this. You must immediately endeavour to be seen on the streets to reduce the rat attacks. But who is this man? Is he some kind of joke? A jest, perhaps?
Well, you know, we've seen him. We haven't seen him for days. He told us we should wait for the signal, and he has some sort of lair under the town in the rat tunnels. It's guarded by some strange magical glyph, though. He said no one can get him there. Strange magic. He can control the rats, they say.
Fear not, my little friends, for unknown to you, I have the mighty wizard Jalaxy with me. Why? He may even teleport here.
And I look down and I'm just like, my people. and the smell of honeysuckle had started as soon as L'Oreal had said honey. And it is only appropriate that as I start dancing, I have a belly dance. Nobody knew that I could do such a thing, but the movement is hypnotic, and they are impressed.
They are indeed. So you will help us. Oh, mighty wit! But it's some strange glyph that he's done. We know the tunnels below town, but we cannot go into them anymore. There is a strange fumes, confusing ether down there. They're not as they were. It would be really foolish for two of you to go down in there.
Ah, that's wise. We shall double our number then. Don't worry. I have
through
some
magic. Gosh, how will this work?
I have some urine companions. Some may say they look like rats. I am not that unkind. Some may say they scuttle about in the underbelly of the city. I would not suggest such a thing. But don't worry, we have such people to assist us. Perhaps if you can provide us with maps and entranceways for the tunnels, and you can do your best to keep the rats off the streets, then we can solve this problem for you. And then we can talk about your closeness to the High One, the Vanquisher, the Officer of the Paradise, the Opener of the Gates of Heaven, and various other matters of our interest.
And at the mention of your potentially Muran companions, let's cut back to the creaking shipwreck. You can just see the glint of this little chest in the water below the captain's desk. It does seem to be sealed, but there's not a tentacle wrapped around it, but one of the tentacles from what seems to be some sort of giant octopus is just in the water near it. To be clear about giant octopus, it's the size of both of you together.
Okay. Alphax hasn't noticed the tentacle and it's just like going for the glinty goldy thing. Like, ah!
I suspect that that Barn, as he approaches, cautious about what he's seen in the cargo hold, is paying a bit more closer attention. and he pulls out as he sees this shudder in the water his longbow, just in case something needs to happen. Notches an arrow, and then he sees it being a tentacle lets loose.
Okay, so this can all happen at once, I think, because not Jalaxy, sorry, Halifax, you're trying to get the chest, presumably without
just wading in. Yeah.
In order to get that quickly before the octopus reacts, I'm going to need an agility roll. I'm going to give you a bane on that because you're having to wade underwater into it. And I'll let you make an attack roll if you want, Barn. And the combination of these two rolls will determine sort of what happens.
So roll D20, D6, and I take away the D6.
Except that you've got, I mean, you might be able to use trickery for this. You are, in theory, stealing something, aren't you? So
yeah, true. So cancel out.
So. Do that, yeah. And it's you against its agility, which is 10.
I get 23.
Yeah, it's a crit, in fact. Well, let's do the let's do Barnes longbow as well at the same time, and let's combine these two.
So his longbow is without a bane.
Yeah, it's without a bane. There's bits of tentacles that are above the water, so
it is a 19. Oh, just short of it again. 19.
Yeah, just short of it. Do your damage, and we'll see if it's still alive, and see whether that's
12.
Okay, it is still alive, but that's a serious wound. So almost at the same time, Halifax swipes swiftly this chest, just as the tentacle screeches around, like curls around it to grasp it in the water, and then Barnes' longbow strikes true, and blood fills the water. This octopus momentarily panics, unsure of what has quite gone on, and then we see it just retreat and squeeze itself through, leaving a trail of blood behind it out into the open sea. And
why did you shoot near me? What on earth?
You're about to be squelched, I say, by that tentacular spectacle behind you. Pay attention. Pay attention. You're drawing attention to yourself by your conniving maneuvers. Be careful, Halifax.
Oh,
what have you found?
I don't know. Sort of shakes box, puts it down on the desk, cracks it open.
Okay, as you crack it open, it is indeed watertight. This is a finely made little box, and as you open the little chest, you see some objects within it, chiefly of which is a writ, a contract, if you like, which describes, in addition to the cargo, the transportation that the rum jug was taking was one prisoner, one Irwin Jest, transportation into the wilderness for his depraved and cultish practices. It also lists his personal effects, which they have decided to be sent with the ship to be cast into the ocean. But it's clear these haven't been cast in. There were various scrolls with sort of arcane writing and stuff. Maybe Jalaxy could interpret those. But there's also 3 little giant rat paws that are sort of mummified. As you pass your hand over them, it's clear that there's something magical or mystical about them. You feel a sort of sense of something. Even as non-magicians yourself, you get a sense of the power within them and some deep, dark magics.
I'm going to close that quickly over. I think someone more qualified should take a look at this.
Well,
but I am going to check out the rest of the. I think just check out the rest of Captain's quarters in case there's anything else left lying around.
Yeah, the rest
quickly
of the
rifle through the drawers, basically.
Yeah, the rest of the drawers and stuff have been sort of water damaged. It's only in this chest where stuff has survived. You do find a quite finely made short sword and a couple of daggers that are in a display case that you can pop open and take. But that is most of what you have in there.
Seems they were transporting some weird prisoner for cultish, weird magical behavior.
Did they have the name of it?
Yes. Sorry, what was the name again?
Jest. Erwin Jest.
Erwin Jest. Did the pub not mention a
Hmm.
bard or a jester or something?
Yeah. A bard that turned up by the name of Jest. I thought they were joking, but
Apparently
seems
not.
it may be true. Maybe he
Maybe
has something to do with it. Anything
yeah.
else in there? I'll look after this chest.
Some cut off giant rat paws. That's your thing. You can wear them around your neck, scare off
think
rats. I don't know.
that is the weirdest, most disgusting thing that you could possibly find.
It's pretty gross.
I think we probably should burn that.
I don't know. Let's take them back to our compatriots and see what our wizard friend makes of these things. I sense there's a little bit of magic going on here.
Maybe you're right. Discarding evidence in that way is not the sort of thing a man of law, as I have been. And,
yeah, you were quite quick to want to discard the evidence, though. Are you sure you're a man of law? Can I see that badge again?
It's a tricky thing. Sometimes you need these things to think about. Sometimes you just don't need the evidence.
Sometimes you just need to make evidence disappear. Got any experience of that in particular?
And as this conversation continues back to town, I'm going to suggest we maybe smash cut then to where everyone's joined together, possibly in the Vermin Catchers Guild House, and we can sort of share.
Which is now a church, presumably, at this point.
Yeah. As you, clearly Vermin catching isn't the only thing that they're a guild of in this town. As you appear back there, we can assume that you've shared the information that like the audience has seen without needing to go over it. But there is the matter of this chest, isn't there?
Yep.
I think with some interest, I think that almost certainly on the way on our meander back, discussing the merits of evidence discarding or not, probably would have come across this mummified nature of the giant rat pods and split open the chest and say, well, Jalaxy, is there something arcane and mysterious about why someone would want to do this? And Lucian, is there something heathen about this practice that we should be aware of before we ought to.
They mentioned a prisoner they were transporting as well, a Jest that the pub owner mentioned to us as well. A bard who could, I don't know, summon rats? Who's ever heard of such a thing?
Ah, yes. Well, this Jest promised to get rid of the rats, and evidently that hasn't happened. Give me the paws. And I pick up the paws, and I start waltzing with it with my eyes closed, slowly, staying inside of the screen.
I was not expecting that.
Amazing. And you can. I'm not going to make you roll for it because you're going to get some sort of not complete knowledge from it anyway. These are indeed sort of artifacts that some sort of unholy rat cult you would surmise from them. And you would suggest that they could be used to as sort of a token that would show your loyalty to the cult, but also potentially these things could be used in a magical sense to gain entry to things. So not only that, but magical wards could be bypassed by using one of these straightforwardly.
I share that with everybody.
Mm-hmm. The scrolls with arcane writing on them describe the mainly sort of rituals and cultish practices from said rat god, including the means to summon rats, including the means to banish rats, including the means to one of them it talks about overrunning a town with rats as a sort of like a tide of vermin will overcome it, and that town can be that town or city could be a testament to the rat god itself.
I mean, horrible, but I do admire the grift. Turn up, say you'll get rid of the rats, then don't. So summon lots of rats instead.
Yeah. So go ahead. What is your next step? You've probably got a lead to actually go and resolve this issue.
Yeah, I'm presuming that our halfling companions have now returned with a map of the sewer system and the rat holes and things like that. So we'll have a montage scene of spreading this out over a table and putting tokens on and where the glyph is and this, that, and the other. And I'm gonna, be taking one of the candlesticks back off Halifax and putting it back on the corner of the map because it was holding up. Suddenly started rolling after he put it in his pocket or whatever.
It's funny that their candlesticks are all made of silver and gold, but it's not a matching set. It's like they've got them from several different houses.
Almost like from different places. Yeah. Cool. And then, yes, my brothers and sisters, I think we should head down to remove this foulness that is beneath. But we cannot have rats the size of dogs. What next? Dogs the size of rats? That'd be ridiculous.
But cute.
Yes. Perhaps. Maybe I should rethink. No, wait. I've consulted my holy documents once more. We cannot suffer this to live. We must head into the sewers, cleanse it, make this town whole again, and then convert everybody to the High One Vanquish of the Officer of Paradise, Open because of Heaven, and all these other titles, for which I'm sparing you. I hope you appreciate this.
I do appreciate that. Thank you, L'Oreal.
Amazing. So there follows a brief montage as you go through the sewers. This would be a real challenge for you to navigate the sewers and the tunnels beneath it. But you've got the aid of the Vermin Catchers Guild. You've got their maps. You can use that to navigate and see deeper and deeper. This forms a real web of tunnels under the town, and you can see where it joins into the cellars of some of the more wealthy residents and several of the pubs of the town. But there's a bit on the map that was very ill-defined, where they weren't really sure. They say it connected to an older cavern system beneath here, and that's where you make your way towards. You soon come across a stone door. There are glyphs and magical writings all across it, but these have been scratched out, and you can see crudely drawn on it in chalk is a effigy, sort of drawing of an effigy of a rat, and hollowed out is a little imprint that's been chipped out of it, the size of one of those claws that you've got. And as you press it in, the door slides open, and you find yourself in what could only be described as a makeshift church. It's not like any church that the High One would worship in, though. It's some strange mockery of this. Pews have been constructed out of old furniture and things that have been taken from various mismatched places from the town. And at the end, there's out of flotsam and bits of wood, you can see this sort of rat effigy is built. At the far corner in front of it, is back to you to begin with. A man who is kneeling stands up, torches light the side of it, and says, "Oh, I thought you'd come. Well, no constables are going to take me back alive. Not now I have my rats with me. They shall eat you up. You shall be fine sacrifices to the rat god." And he lets out a squeaking sound. From all around, rats run and swarm at you. And in fact, we are in our final confrontation of the day as you face Erwin Jest. Is there anything, as he's had a chance to soliloquy, is there anything you wish to do or say before combat ensues?
Now, although my colleague here has a badge which may or may not be legitimate, and he may or may not be an officer of the law, the rest of us definitely are not officers of law, especially me. So we're not trying to take you back anywhere at all, Mr. Jest, or whatever your name is. But we would like you to maybe move on from this town and not bug them quite so much. Can you go and do your religion somewhere else?
Did you not hear me? You should be sacrifices to the rat god.
Can you
This
not
town is
sacrifice
mine now?
maybe cows or chickens or maybe birds or things to the rats instead? Not people?
No. Eat him first. He shouts out. He shouts out to the rats.
How
always
far
human
can you not
sacrifice.
see? Can you not see? He is a manifestation of the adversary. We must cast him into the pits of hell. We must destroy them all and his little rat companions. I shall bless you all. Take my blessing, and I'll grab you by the face and give you a good hard blessing. And I do it for all my companions, in fact. So you can all have a battle blessing. So you're going to have a boon on attack rolls and immunity from the frightened condition for 1 minute.
Oh,
Do it quickly, I say.
That's perfect. Yeah. As he says, have you not heard? You have the right to remain silent. Knocks his bow. And then suddenly feels a surge of a blessing of battle and lets it loose.
I shout out, evidently it takes more than two to tango. And I start tangoing, getting ready for my magic to blast this baddie.
Fantastic. So the swarm of rats is going to attack first. Basically, they're going to have their go first, even as your bow is being knocked with. But you have got your blessing on, in fact. So the swarm. What I need you to all do as these rats swarm all over you is to make me a strength check, difficulty 10. You're all going to take a d6 damage, 6 damage. You need to make a strength check. Are you going to take some more as well?
Can I dodge that with my cunning dodge?
Is that something where you...
When I dodge, increase the number of boons or number of banes granted by 1.
It doesn't really help. You can't dodge this because you're surrounded by hundreds of rats. It's like a swarm attack. They don't need to roll to attack you.
Yeah, dandy. Fair enough. Cool. And then we're making a strength check. Cool.
Yeah.
6 damage.
Crit.
Okay.
If I had 6 damage from before and we did not heal, and my defense is... Oh, we did.
We did. You healed.
Oh, we slept
when you slept, and it's against your health as well, not your defense. But yeah, your health is
very good.
Still 16. Yeah, if you failed that strength check, you're going to take an extra 3 damage.
Boo.
And in addition, Jest pulls a crossbow from behind and fires it. I think at you, Barn, because you were about to shoot him with your bow.
Yeah, and as a reaction to receiving 9 points of damage, I have combat recovery, so I halve that damage. Round it up or down, I don't know. So I take
round it down, round it in your favor.
So I take 4 damage, and he has a bane against me.
Ooh, so he would get a boon, but that cancels that. This is just a +1, so does 16 hit you?
It matches my defense. Is that a hit?
It does, yeah. So you're going to take...
I guess that hits me.
6 damage as a crossbow bolt flies into you. It's your turn though now as players. Should we go to Balm first, as you had an arrow notched ready?
Yeah. So there's a bonus for
you've got
blessing.
a boon. His defense is 15,
bonus. And I've got my roll, and that is diabolical. Is that almost the lowest that you can possibly get?
It's pretty bad, yeah.
3 plus whatever. Yeah.
So
I think this. Go on.
Slightly rattled by the damage that he's taken. His quiver quavers.
Yeah,
his arrow airs.
Your arrow flies off softly. So to be clear, you can target Jest, or you can target the swarm. The swarm doesn't have any particular rules to make it harder to hit, but you just have to sort of deal with it, and then it disperses. So Balm has been. Shall we go to Halifax next?
Sure. Do I get anything from my crit 20 against the swarm?
I guess I'll let you not take the 6 damage. That seems fair enough as well. So you can completely avoid it somehow by.
I'm going to try and make my as he's sort of like concentrating on Barn. I'm going to try and make my way like through the swarm, sort of behind him to like get into a position to like basically backstab him effectively, sort of move behind him.
You can certainly do that. Yeah. So roll your backstab on him. Defense 15 for Jest.
So am I using trickery here to try and get behind him?
You can use it once around. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Use it on attack rolls.
And I've got a boon from the blessing as well.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 boons. Cool. Awesome. 14, 19, 22.
It hits, and it is actually a crit as well. So it's going to make him weakened 2, which gives him a bane, and dear damage as well.
Yeah, so it will be 6.
Okay, yeah, your blow connects with him and injures him. He does not look happy as he turns towards you. seeing that you're behind him. Luriel.
I am sanctifying my weapon. And then look sadly at the poor innocent rats and say, although you are blameless creatures, you're being controlled, I shall send you to a better place to meet your friends. So I now have 2 boons as I try and smash the rats.
Yeah.
Oh, crikey.
I mean, their defense 10. That's the good news. So.
Oh, good. That's good news. Because I can use my will for this as well now. Sanctify my weapon. So that's an 11. So, right, I do actually hit them. And I get an extra d6 on damage. So it's going to be 16 damage against the rats one. As I start battering them with my mace.
The rats are, almost dispersed now. In fact, they're down to all the ones on you are running away, and they don't seem to have quite as much fun. They seem to be thinking that maybe Jest could win this fight himself. Without their help, they'd be happier doing that as you batter them with your mace. Finally, Jalaxy.
Yeah, so I look over at Jest and I say, I'm usually not opposed to dark magic. I use it myself from time to time, but this is beyond dark. And I'm going to use Blackest Razors. It's 2 castings, 1 individual target. That's 3 boons. And did L'Oreal only grab one person's face, or did we all get a boon?
Oh, no, I blessed all of you with my face.
It was a really hard blessing.
All 3 of his arms grabbed your face. Yeah. So you're going to get 4 boons on here. Against his agility is only 11, actually. So it's a little bit.
Well, get ready.
Yeah.
So that still doesn't help me.
No, so that was 9 and your intellect as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Plus my intellect is 3, so that is 11.
Yeah,
12.
12, yeah. So it's a success. Takes 3d6 damage that Blackest Razors does. Because he looks with recognition at your shadowy magics.
Hold on, I got to get all these dice.
Good job I'm not looking.
Yeah.
Oh. A whopping 7 points.
Amazing, yeah. As these razors, these magical razors, fire into him. And it is back the turn of the round. So, in terms of the swarm, Luriel, you are still within the swarm, definitely. And I think Balm, you're still within the swarm as well. I think the other 2 of you have gone to engage Jest. So the 2 of you are both going to take 6 damage.
Jesus.
And can you both make me a strength check to try and avoid taking another d6?
No.
Oof. No.
Oh, okay. Would you like to take another 5 damage?
Oof.
So when you've no health left,
what happens is you become incapacitated. Now the good news is, for a normal action, anyone who's near you can spend to just like stabilize you and heal you of a d6. And I think you have some healing as well, don't you, Gaz? Is that
I do if I'm not incapacitated.
Not that you can use it when so you drop to the ground, being eaten by rats, basically. Is what happens, and you get a luck roll at the end of each round where you might get better, if you see what I mean, or get worse.
So I'm on 15 damage at the moment. My health is 32, so I'm still good.
Yeah, you're miles away. Jest is going to attack with his sword. He is weakened, however, so he's just rolling at +2. He gets 2 attacks though. So against Halifax, he gets a 13. Does that hit your defense?
It does. Yep.
Okay, you're going to be taking 3 damage.
Okay.
And I think, actually, Jalaxy, you weren't in melee with him, were you?
No, I think I'm the only one in melee.
I think you're going to get another strike then. 16 might hit you, actually.
Yeah, it does.
For another 8 damage.
Okay. I am going to swift recovery that.
Yep.
So I take half the damage. And I can move up to my speed. So I'm basically going to move behind him when he does it.
So your swift recovery is it's half of your damage total that you've taken so far as well.
Oh, is it?
It's not just that damage that you take there, it's everything that you've taken, half of it gets recovered.
Okay, so I'm on 11, so I recover. Do I round up or down?
Yeah, round up. So you'll be on 5 damage.
Cool.
When you do
Great. And I'll basically sort of sidestep behind him basically as he swings to get behind him again.
Fantastic. Right, well, it's your turn now. So, Barn.
Oh,
do you want to go first?
No,
let's
go
go
ahead.
Halifax first.
While you're in the mix of it.
Yeah, cool. So I'm just going to just I'm just going to backstab him real good again, or
Yeah.
try to
Get you 2 boons at least, isn't it? I think.
Yep. Oh, that's not good. 4, 9, 12.
It's not enough, I'm afraid. Not
All right.
enough.
Damn.
Balm, let's go to you now.
I'm keeping focus. Even though I'm surrounded by this swarm of rats, I'm keeping focus on the main perpetrator, the main perp here, and reload my arrow, loose another shot.
Go for it.
Cad, we're still within the minute, so I get an.
Yeah, you
still
still
under the
get your boon,
bonus?
yeah. So you do.
Boom. 15,
Yeah,
18.
that's it. That hits, yeah. That hits.
For mighty 8 against the Jest.
Okay, Jess looks quite badly injured now, but he's still up for now. Well, let's go to Jalaxy, actually, because L'Oreal, you're unconscious at the moment, aren't you? So you'll still get something to do, but it's really a look safe. But yeah, Jalaxy.
I have a rules question, so
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
No.
With the castings, so things like sudden aging, mantle of darkness, borrow against time, all of those don't require, they don't have the novice symbol on them.
Yeah.
How many castings do I get in an encounter, and when do I need to replenish them?
You can just use them whenever. They're just at will. They're talents. They're not spells, technically speaking. So the first 3 you can just cast as many times as you want.
Okay, so it's just preventing me from doing multiple things. If I got another action, I wouldn't
Yeah.
Okay, got it. I'm going to take dark bolts from 2 fingers, still tangoing, and I look straight over to Jess and I just say, "This is no jest. It's for real."
Excellent. So you get an extra, but you get a boon on that, and you get the boon from your blessing as well. And you need to target its agility, which is 11.
All right. Ooh.
That is, I think that's a crit, in fact, isn't it? So that does
30.
Yeah, definitely. It does 3d6 damage on a crit, not 2d6 your spell. So
all right. Let's get more than 7. Oh. That's 7, folks.
he's just still alive by that as your dark bolts go into him. L'Oreal, would you like to make me a luck save, please? Just a flat d20.
No, that's not lucky.
So yeah, you don't heal 1 damage. What I need you to do is to take 4 off your health. Your health starts tricking you down. When it gets to 0,
Okay.
you'll actually die. The rats have stopped eating you, though. Is the good news.
Take the silver lining, yeah.
Yeah. Start next round. The rat swarm, Balm, you're going to take 2 damage and make me a strength check to avoid taking any more.
Oh yeah, he just managed that.
You are fine with that. And Jest is going to, still maddened by rage, is going to try and attack. I think, Halifax, you got behind him, didn't you?
Yes.
So I think rather than target you, because you managed to slip into the shadows there, he's going to shoot his crossbow. I think the biggest threat to him at the moment is probably, actually, no, it's probably still Balm, because you seem to be hitting him with that. So yeah, he's going to hit you with his crossbow, or not hit you with his crossbow with a 9.
He's not going to hit me with his crossbow.
He's not. No, it's back to the top of the round. It's you guys again. Let's go start with Balm, actually. Yeah.
So I can see that there are corpses of rats in front of me, and I will drop my longbow, pull out my sword, and leap over these. Are they quite giant, or are they regular rats?
Regular rats.
Regular rats. Oh, in that case, I will pretend to be incredibly brave and jumping over giant rats, and I will leap exaggeratedly towards them as I pull out my eager sword and I swipe across it. Jest the bard.
Amazing. Go for it. 15 is what you need to hit.
Yeah, I can do that.
24. Yeah, that's a crit.
27.
That is a crit, yeah.
Yeah.
Do your damage, and this might finish him off actually as Balm leaps into the fray.
16.
Oof.
I get to re-roll that. It turns out. I don't think I'm going to get better than that.
I mean,
14 is pretty
have
good,
a
but
go.
16 is yeah. I'll take
Yeah,
16.
yeah, and with that, Jest is killed. Do you want to just say how you managed to kill him, Jack?
Well, I'm exaggeratingly and slow motionally jumping over these kind of tiny little rats underfoot, and there's one which is particularly squidgy, and it gives me an extra vault, and it takes me a chance to kind of leap down and plunge this this sword into Jest the Bard's chest.
Amazing. And with that, the curse of the rats of Rothsea is lifted. The swarm dissipates, and you are able to return to town as heroes. The Vermin Catchers Guild are eternally grateful for you, as they know everything that's happened. It's up to you guys whether you tell people the true truth of the town or allow them to narrate that they were very successful as well as you, and they were pleased with your assistance. It's a one-shot, so let's just say farewell to these characters by having a short little vignette of each of you showing what you do to celebrate in Rothsea after this adventure is over and the curse is lifted. Maybe starting with you, Halifax.
Sure. We see Halifax in the guild drawing up sort of NDA effectively that he won't say about all these things and like how much that's going to be, and it looks all very official, and he's got out his his sort of wax seals and things like that. There's a little kit of his little sort of forgery kit and like making the thing up. He's gonna make out from it a little bit.
Amazing.
Glint in his eye.
Luriel, what do we see of you?
I think Luriel got forgotten in the sewers. As everybody else left and has been high-fiving. So it's a couple of days later when he comes dragging himself out, covered in rat bits, all of his bald pate, his thing in rags. And then the last bit is him chatting to a load of people down by the docks about how the High One, the vanquisher of the adversary from paradise, the opener of the gates of heaven, does not make it easy. Everything must be struggle. And should you ever think or suffer from hubris or think yourself mighty, he will bring you low. So don't worry that you're all here living under the bilges and the dock sides and stuff like that. This is merely the blessings of the High One.
Amazing. Jalaxy, what do we see Jalaxy doing this way?
Jalaxy decided to go back to Torvin at the Rusty Hook, and he convinced him to become his business partner. And so not only does he provide entertainment every night, but he also has a spa and a aromatherapy, in fact, where the different flowers and floras just make the Rusty Hook the place to be.
Amazing.
Nice.
It takes away the smell of fish that pervades the place.
Oh, yeah.
And finally, Balm.
Well, it used to be called the Rusty Hook. It's now the Trusty Nook or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think Balm has, in his careful diligence to town guardery, has obviously not wiped his blade clean, and so it is littered. It is stained with Jest the Bard's blood, and he uses that as a means to kind of. Well, he talks about getting this anointed to the walls of the Rusty Hook, the Trusty Nook, or whatever it's called these days, and he uses his position now as one who has clearly vanquished a terrible slight upon the town to extract protection money, frankly.
And with that, Rothsey knows peace and prosperity again, in a manner of speaking. And our heroes have been successful. So thank you to my players. Thank you to our viewers at home. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out our other videos. Get hold of Shadow of the Weird Wizard on drive-through from Rob Schwalb or from whatever game store it is in print as well. And check out the many adventures that Schwalb Entertainment has brought out for it. Say something for them as a publisher, they churn out loads and loads of quests. The Rats of Rothsea, this adventure, is available on my blog, so check that out. You can even see the bits where I've changed it from there and remastered it to fit the 2-hour format. But also tell people at the channel, it's always good to spread the word. If you know a small creator like us, one of the best things you can do is to just spread the word and get it to help the algorithm. So without further ado, thank you, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks for more Unconventional GMs.